팀 경기장 도시형.
All right, guys, here we are on Shakuris Plateau, and in the lower right, is this the guy who's going to get Kas or get Empire back on track? It is Kas. That's who it is. He's the yellow Terran. All right, left side of the map in the purple from the team Prime, one of my favorite Protosses out there right now. It is Creator.Prime.
It is. So Creator versus Kas in a PvT showdown to see who breaks the tie, puts their team just one game away from advancing here in Team Arena Challenge 2. So this has been a very evenly fought set so far. Beastie QT taking 3 games right away so well for Empire. Looks like they were off. I didn't know if he was going to be able to all kill, but he certainly took more games than I had anticipated, and it took Creator coming back to start winning some games for Prime, and it's a good thing he did. GGG LHF from Kas, making sure that he gets all of the possibilities of greetings out of the way.
And Creator.Prime with, again, the classic GG/GL, so good
Yes.
game or good luck. One of the two. You may choose one of them, which you'd like to have.
This is, you cannot pick both. This is a multiple choice
That's right.
answer. So, all right, let's see here now. As the game is on Shakuris Plateau now, someone mentioned to us before that Kas loves going into that Thor, Ghost, Raven, Banshee, Marine, Awesome. I just call it the Awesome build, really. I think that's the most apropos name for it, is the Awesome build.
Oh,
But
right.
so we'll see if he ends up doing that as well, or it's going to be something a little more conventional here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see if he kind of lets Creator.Prime sit back in macro, too, or if he's going to try to put on a little bit more pressure.
And both players are actually throwing down their various main buildings first, as we have a Nexus coming up for Creator and a Command Center coming up for Kas. So
I think that's a great decision by Kas. I mean, he knows who he's playing against. He knows that he's not going to need to worry about any early pressure, so why not take advantage of that and just do the most economical opening?
And that is an absolutely great point. Both players throwing down their first unit-producing structures after that as well. Gateway and Barracks both falling into place nicely. And, yeah, we have certainly not had any cheap games here, though, this set. These games have all been pretty long and fairly interesting so far as well. Second Barracks coming up now for Kas. Just gas on the way now for Creator.
Yep, and we'll have to see when Kas decides to add his gases on, just how many barracks he's going to go up to before he starts to tech.
Sure.
Only just sitting on, like you mentioned, 2 barracks right now. Now, the common thing to do is 3, so that makes me wonder if he is indeed going to add on a couple gases here and start to tech with a little bit barracks, more barracks light composition.
Well, he's certainly going to have that barracks done very, very soon, so we'll be able to add in some orbital commands here in just a second. Already
yes,
some
that's
Marines
true
on
too.
the way. There's orbital command number 1, and number 2 will pop out here whenever this finishes in about 5 seconds.
Yep, that's absolutely right. So getting those orbitals just a little bit later to make sure he's got both his main buildings up that much faster.
And SEV sneaks on by. Just,
Excuse me.
Pardon me, sir. I have to get on by you and view your base. And
Oh, he doesn't actually check both gases, though.
That was kind of interesting. Did he even check any of them? No.
Didn't really get in far enough to see any of that. That's usually information that you want to find out.
Right.
But he's just going to go up and check for the 3rd, it looks like here. Maybe just looking for any sort of proxy buildings, too.
Sure. Maybe we'll find out what his opponent's going to do. Hopefully that SEV wasn't like queued up to go left and then top left, and then he just kind of forgot after the SEV got in there part of the way.
I don't know. Oh,
no, he's
I like
proxying
it.
a command center at the 5-minute mark.
That is awesome. That's such a great thing to do against Creator.Prime, honestly, because it's like Creator.Prime's not going to attack you. He's Creator.Prime. He's going to send Zealots across the map, but this isn't an attack. Don't let it fool you. Those
Right.
Zealots are on a peace mission.
This is a light poke. This is a prodding. This is a...
It's like, you ready? You have the gift basket? All right, let's go.
Should we turn down our swords for hands yet? No.
Yes.
All right. Kas going to pop out. He does see the Zealot sitting there. Needs to back up. Of course, he's going to lose a couple of Marines and reinforce some more in a bit.
Nice
One
micro.
Zealot's going to fall down pretty quickly. A second is going to go as well. Nice job just cycling those hurt SCVs to the back as well. Stalker has taken some damage. This SCV was pulled off the line, but all in all, very nice job by Kas to hold that.
Yeah, really, really well controlled by him. That's a difficult thing to do. Any Terran player out there can attest to it, to micro Marines with no upgrades against Zealots with a Stalker behind them. So really well done by Kas to minimize the damage there. And really taking no damage, in fact, just only losing a couple Marines.
And we had on the flip side of things, Creator.Prime did Nexus first into 1-gate Robo.
Oh, look at that, though. Creator.Prime, he scouts the base.
Oh,
he sees
does.
it. Yep. Doesn't finish,
boy.
though. Yeah, I think when Creator.Prime saw how few Marines there were out there, he was like, something's a little bit weird. So immediately started scouting for that, found the command center. Yeah. And so now he does this does kind of give him something to worry about. Looks like he's actually just going to expand again. But he's going to, at some point, want to consider breaking down through those rocks and going after that base as well. Yeah, because that's certainly going to pose a problem now for Kas. But, yeah, a third base coming up, so that is a very Creator thing to do. That's actually really funny. We're on 6 bases, and we're at the 7.5-minute mark in this game. Yeah, it's actually hilarious because a lot of players would be like, oh, man, now I have to, like, break through the rocks and do something about that. Creator.Prime's like, oh, man, he made a third command center. I need to make another main building, too, to keep up. Yes. He loves that macro style. There's the double forge. Out expanding me? Preposterous. Yeah. No one can out expand the Creator. Double forge is indeed on the way. This is an Artosis pylon to the max. As we have a cybernetics core, 3 gateways, robotics facility, and 2 forges powered by 1 pylon. Yep. All right. Well, Kas is obviously going to put all of his mules here, so I would imagine. Because he'll want to mine as much as possible from that until any sort of pressure happens. And he is going to break through those rocks, too. Yeah. And the nice thing for Kas is that he can just lift off and fly away if he needs to. But it's going to be tough for him to really get a lot of use out of that command center. Right. And he can indeed see that the destructible rocks are going down. He's not decided to move out with any Marines quite yet, just building up a wall at the front of his natural. You know, the other thing, too, is that, you know, while Kas has this third base that he's going to need to kind of move around from here, there, and stuff, Creator.Prime has his third base that's really going to be very pressure-free for a while until Kas decides to move out. So, in the end, although Creator.Prime did get his base up less, I think in the long term it's going to end up being a bit more of a benefit for him. And it looks like Kas produced exactly 5 SCVs, so we can drop them all into the orbital command or pick... You can't pick them up, dude. That's right. It's an orbital command. It's not a command center anymore. Wake up! You're right. I'm totally out of it today, too. All right. Well, unfortunately, this mule going to have to run away. And one seller comes up and says, aha! Oh. Yeah, he actually doesn't know that there was any mining done there. Just kind of assumed. Yes. And, can it see it now? Yeah. And they do, but it's a little bit too late to catch them at this point. Oh, and here comes a push. Creator.Prime's going to need to worry about this. Yes, he is. Oh, that's a great place to engage for Kas. Oh, and the force field's trapping all the units in, but I think Kas is okay with that. He just wants to kill everything that's sitting up in the front. We'll see if he goes through any of these sentries. It looks like he is starting to pick those off slowly but surely. Well, 1 has gone down. A 2nd may fall here. A 3rd as well, and now he's going to pick away at these stalkers. He will eventually get cleared off, but he took out those so expensive sentries. Yeah, it looks like without stim and +1, it just isn't really as much damage as it would be normally. I mean, even that +1 would have made a big difference in that engagement. Sure. So Kas having to fight a little bit earlier than he wanted to. He saw those units out there, thought he could go for it, but maybe a little bit of a miscalculation there on his part. Sure. Yep, does still have another third base there. He was able to float that over and get that up and running now, too. So he's not all that far behind at this point. Yeah, but 2-2 is already on the way for Creator now. Yeah. Good investment in infrastructure for Kas at the moment. A lot of add-ons, as a matter of fact. 2 reactors, a couple of tech labs as well. And with that continued armory and upgrade production, Observer's going to get over, see exactly what his opponent has, which shouldn't be too unexpected at this point. That's where the 3rd ended up. No 4th on the way quite well. No 4th for Kas, but a 4th already coming up at the 12-minute mark for Creator. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. This is Creator.Prime, man. Yeah. It's Creator.Prime time. It is. And it is his time to shine, so we'll see if he can once again take another game from Empire. Kas, though, is, well, he's putting up a 4th as well. 8 bases, ladies and gentlemen, 12.5 minutes, so we have an extraordinarily long set of games tonight, apparently. This is cool. We're seeing Kas kind of try to play Creator.Prime's game and just try to do it better. You know, I like that. I like the boldness from Kas. His unit composition is looking pretty good, too. I mean, he's already got Vikings on the way. His upgrades are not very far behind at all. So everything indicates, you know, Kas being in a great position in this game. I mean, don't worry about the supply count. That's a small deficit. I mean, he can pick that up no problem. Exactly. So when the final fight actually happens here, I think Kas is going to be just as well prepared as anyone really could be. Well, it's the upgrade disparity is more what I'm looking at right now. Kas certainly has some work to catch up in that regard, as he has 2-2 just on the way, whereas 2-2
TAC2 is just finishing up for Creator, as a matter of fact. So he'll be moving into 3-3 here momentarily, and looks like there it is.
Yep.
Okay, so Kas making his way out with a medevac now, and there is actually nothing to defend.
I love these 4 Marauder drops that you see Terran's doing now. I mean, it's traditionally been kind of a mix of units or just Marines because the DPS is higher, but Marauders just tear through buildings so quickly. It's easy to do a drop like this and get in and snipe a very important building from Protoss. So we'll have to see what he chooses to do here. What is he going to go for? Yeah. I think it's going to be the Forges, man. No, he's actually going to go for the Robo. Okay.
Yeah, nice decision. It looks like he may pick this off before a Colossus pops out, and that would be devastating to Creator. Bye.
Nice.
Is he going to be able to get a pylon or anything in the meantime? Ooh, yes, he's going to get the one over on the left-hand side, stop all of these gateways as well from morphing into warp gates.
Oh, wow.
A good little game for him.
Yeah, no kidding. Nice little drop by Kas. I mean, he did lose the medevac and the Marauders, but killing the Robo was huge.
Yes.
And just preventing the gateways from finishing and kind of delaying that for a little bit was nice, too. The 4 Marauder drops are really, really strong.
And looks like Creator is now preparing for any sort of such drop shenanigans. He has photon cannons being placed around the map. He has a bunch of Blink Stalkers. And, you know, he's already morphing in some Archons, so I'm sure we'll see some Templar position around there as well.
Yeah, he's already got Templar on the way here, too, so he's not really all that far behind despite losing the Robo. He's got other high-tech routes to go with. And the Ghosts are a little bit late for Kas, I got to say. Does he have a Ghost Academy out just yet?
Let's see.
I don't think he does. Oh, he does.
There he is.
Okay,
Yeah.
How many
he has
Ghosts?
Mobius Reactor on the way.
He is making 2 right now. That's right. How many Ghosts does he have already out on the field?
None.
Okay.
These are his first 3.
All right. So adding on Ghosts at a good timing for someone who went very Colossus heavy, but Creator.Prime went into the High Templar a little bit quickly as well. So he's got some stuff out right now.
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, so much of TVP just comes down to the fight. It's hard to really predict who has the advantage in situations like these.
Well, Creator does have 3-3 just finished up with +1 shields on the way now. That is an enormous amount of Vikings already. He was preparing for Colossi very early on.
Those a bit.
Yeah, I think so as well. The Colossi are going to fall pretty quickly.
Looks
like Creator's just going to try and run into this. There was a good spread of units there out of Kas, but the Zealots are taking so much damage with those great upgrades. He's starting to push his way through, but now that all the Vikings have landed, they actually buffer damage from these strong Archons and such in the back. Oh, but there's a follow-up now from Zealots, but a nice EMP actually torches most of those, and it looks like Kas is just going to crash on through.
Yeah, I got to say, that was a really, really sloppy engagement by Creator.Prime. Everything was kind of spread out and out of position. He wanted to avoid the EMPs a little bit, I think, but things just didn't engage in the proper way. Kas is being very bold by pushing here. His opponent's on a lot of bases. He'll be able to reproduce that army very, very quickly, but he does have a nice supply advantage. Yes, to see if it works out for him.
And let's see here. Doesn't look like any drops going on that Creator's worried about at the moment. So, yes, he's starting to warp in a bunch more Zealots, as a matter of fact. Adding in Colossi one at a time. He'd certainly like to be double producing by this point if he had the opportunity to do so. He has a lot of excess minerals sitting around, though, and he's not been able to realize the production quite yet.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we saw him adding on some gateways, but you know, he didn't add on quite enough to immediately reproduce that army. I mean, obviously, you're adding on the expensive units like Colossi and Templar, too, and those you can't warp in. Those just kind of take time, you know. But looks like Kas is giving him a little bit of time.
Yes, he is, because he wants to build up to quite a powerful army once again. 3-3 is going to hit for him pretty soon. So how far is that away, actually? It looks like 35 to 40 seconds, depending on which one we're looking at there. 5th base coming up, and 6th base as well. So he is, and 5th base for his opponent. So we have quite a large engagement. It may happen here in a bit. A big drop coming on the left-hand side.
Yeah, this is going to do some damage. Creator.Prime's army is way, way out of position. And he does have some Blink Stalkers there, but that's not going to be enough. Oh, even bringing a Ghost along for the EMP. He is serious about this drop, and this base is in big trouble.
Yes, it is, a matter of fact. And see if he goes right after units. It looks like he has. Nice EMP hitting all of those, so the Zealots were worth almost nothing there, especially because those Ghosts do so much damage to light units. And that Nexus is going down. Feedback's hitting those medevacs, so he will not be able to get away with these forces. But I love the Ghost inclusion in that drop. Made this so much more powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and the Colossi got out of position here, too. He's going to get 1. Is he going to get 2?
And so close down the last few hit points.
Barely
but no,
not.
it survives. But that base and all the damage damage he did to those units, so worth it for Kas.
Yeah, both guys still about the same supply here, but that was a really, really nice snipe. He did so much with that drop.
Yeah.
Creator.Prime, though, the upgrades just keep rolling in. He's working on +2 shields right now. Storm is finishing. And if he gets some nice storms on that army of Kas, he's going to definitely be able to have a much, much better chance of winning.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, you know, Kas is keeping his opponent on his toes very well right now. Such a ridiculous back-and-forth game at the moment, though, especially. We're only at the 21-minute mark. We've had multiple maxed army engagements. We've had drops all over the place. This is what happens when players can go to 4-base versus 4-base at 12 minutes into the game.
Yeah, oh, Warp Prism and a Dark Shrine coming out for Creator.Prime. Now, he could be using that Warp Prism just to keep his High Templars safe from EMPs. You know, he can load them in there and fly them around. But DT drops are also definitely an option here, too. Although I've got to imagine by this time, Kas should have missile turrets at most of his bases.
Yeah, I believe he does. Yeah, it looks like they're around maybe just to protect against drops more than anything right now, but they're certainly going to serve the purpose of detecting the DTs as well. Defensive planetary fortresses already getting placed in the middle of the map right now. And Creator is on his 4th base, trying to go back to his 5th at the moment, but his opponent has way outproduced him in command centers. One going to the 12 o'clock position, one going to the 6 o'clock position.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, Creator.Prime can't produce any command centers. So
right.
That's just kind of mean to say something like that.
Command structures, main buildings. Gosh, Doa, gosh. Anyway, so... Ghost's going to lead the charge now. Let's see if we get some EMPs in a second. Sniping out a couple of Templar at first.
Oh, that's so sloppy.
Ooh, Storm hitting a good number of Vikings there, though.
Yeah, more sloppy play from Creator.Prime, though. He's got everything spread out, but it's just too spread out. Kas is kind of picking off little groups here and there, and he's getting some expensive stuff with that, too.
Yeah, he's got to watch out because there's a missile turret in range.
Oh,
and
no.
Oh,
that's not going to work at all.
Oh.
Goodbye, Warp Prism.
Yep.
Ouch.
Yes, very ouch.
Oh, that's ugly.
DT's up at the front as both players are maxed, about maxed once again, but Kas doing a nice job in taking more than half the map right now, and just, you know, more than anything, taking those resources so your opponents can't use them on the contested bases is so nice whenever you're looking to starve your opponent out.
Yeah, very, very true. Creator.Prime going for a Warp Prism speed now, so he's going to continue to try to do the Warp Prism play.
Yes.
But it looks like Kas is the king of drops in this game.
Yes, he is.
Oh!
Whoa! High Templar.
Ouch.
That was not actually
that
2
might be
kills,
a
as
top
that says.
play right there.
Yeah,
that
nice
was
awareness.
Painful to see. Jeez.
Whew. Okay, all right. Well, off of that, Templar feeling like a boss right now. But
no kidding. How many kills did he get out of that?
Only 2, but that should be 10.
Oh, it doesn't
should be
count
10.
the. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Planetary fortresses over at the 12 and the 6 o'clock position right now. Kas's economy pretty ridiculous, but Creator has a lot of banked resources as well. A very nice gateway infrastructure with 4 more on the way, and he is certainly going to make a huge stand even if his army gets devastated. So what an absurd game to already be at the 25-minute mark.
Yeah,
I mean, this
big
is
split map versus split map PVT. Kas, though, having more bases than his Protoss opponent, though. Creator.Prime's going to need to think about expanding again or just think about running in and trying to win the game if he's going to have any hope of finishing this out.
Nice decision by Kas. Going to use his army to break down the one set of destructible rocks so he can actually run around the side. It looks like Creator has picked up on this, though. He's coming in now to try and put a stop to this. Kas has quite a few goes. 16, as a matter of fact. Is this Thorzan or Kas that's playing?
I know, seriously. Oh, there's the cloak, too.
Oh,
wow. Ouch. EMP is hitting a lot of that. Hitting everything.
That was actually remarkable. DT's revealed right now because they were EMP'd at the same time. Those were just perfect EMPs.
Yeah, Kas just looks unstoppable right now.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, Creator.Prime, though, if he got some storms off right there, that would be pretty nice. But he had to remove his units from the area. Otherwise, he would have basically died. And here we go. Engagement coming in here. Some of the shields have come back, but will it be enough?
I don't know. The Zealots are starting to run in. Of course, there's no Guardian shields available, and those Ghosts were doing work to the Zealots up at the front.
Oh, wow.
Now, Creator.Prime's actually pushing a good portion of this back. He forced all the Vikings to land, and of course, that's the last thing you want is landed Vikings. These DTs, these 3-3-3 DTs that deal so much damage on the outside, doing quite a bit of damage as well. The Planetary Fortress is eventually going to turn this army around, but Creator.Prime crushes that force from Kas.
Yeah, you really see the strength of having that many gateways. He's making, wow, 13 Marauders at once. Jeez, these guys know how to play late game, man.
Wow.
You very seldom see players
my God.
produce the appropriate amount of production buildings at this point in the game. But
Yes.
both of these guys, 3 Colossi at once, 5 Archons. He can warp in like about 1 billion things if he wanted to.
Oh my God, this is awesome. All right, well, this command center has to lift. Get out of the way. Bye-bye, dude.
Yep.
And Zealot's going to make the way, kill quite a few workers at the same time as well. And look at that. Kas has actually run through his banked resources, so Creator's looking a lot better now. Even though he doesn't have a control of half of the map, Kas has done that very, very well. He still does have the more banked resources, and will be able to replenish his army a little bit quicker. God, that is so many Marauders, though.
Yeah, Creator.Prime doesn't quite have the mineral-heavy army that Kas does. I mean, if you look at that, Marauders, Ghosts are very expensive on minerals. Vikings are more minerals than gas. He's also producing, of course, Marines, Medevacs. So a lot of mineral usage for Kas. You can really see it. That Zealot, I don't know what he's planning to do. He does get away. He's like, hey, guys, I ran into the command center. I ran to the Ibis Camp, and then I got out.
Oh.
Dare you.
SCV's tearing after High Templar.
I don't know
I
about
hope
that.
they get him. I hope they get him. No, they're not going to. They're actually just going to get annihilated.
Peasant revolt. I can't speak apparently today. The High Templar, of course, the upper crust of Protoss society. They are the 1%. SCV's not going to take it, though. Occupy Shakur's Plateau.
All right, well, Kas, he's replenishing all those SCVs that he just lost there. He has 5 medevacs along with this as well, producing 6 more Vikings. And ship weapons level 1.
And it's a clumped-up Protoss army. That Ghost has blood on his mind.
Let's see.
Defensive planetaries.
Ooh,
dodging some EMPs.
Yeah, hits a few of the Archons, but not as good as the initial ones were. 3 Archons are so powerful, though.
I really feel like he could use some more Zealots in this composition. There's some there, but they're all in the middle of the Archons. He's going to need to start warping things in. Look at that, warping in right as the units get taken out.
Wow.
Great engagement for both of these players here.
Yeah, now the first line of Zealots went down, but he is flooding in with a second set here in just a second. These Vikings are not all that well upgraded, so the Colossi are falling very, very slowly. They will eventually go down, but they took so long to fall, and the Zealots are actually pushing their way up for Creator.Prime now, starting to attack Kas's natural.
Well, I feel like that Creator.Prime is just the warping mechanic is really winning him the game here. I mean, he's able to replenish quite a bit quicker than his opponent does.
Sure.
And, I mean, there's production buildings all over, so he kind of needs to just pick a direction and go for it at this point. I mean, he can try to engage Kas's army again, but you know he's got to get rid of some of those production buildings. He's got to get some sort of edge here. I mean, he's 60 supply ahead, so he's got the big lead. But look at Creator.Prime. It is Creator.Primiest. He's just sitting there, not attacking. He's going to expand again instead.
Kas has got to take those SCVs that we're mining gas and just flip them onto minerals right now, because he is a bit mineral starved, trying to produce as many units as he can.
I got to say, if you ever want a good lesson on if you're ahead, get more ahead, watch Creator.Prime.
Well, that's the very definition, as a matter of fact.
Here we go. Oh, yep, not the best engagement for Creator.Prime. He needs to be careful here.
And it looks like Kas is going to try and force the issue, though. He does kill a couple of Archons right away. Now, those Zealots were trapped in the back, and they haven't been able to do anything quite yet, so this Planetary Fortress can get into the action as well. Vikings now quite a bit upgraded. Now they finally have those +3 weapons. Oh, but they all clumped themselves up, and the Archons were dishing out some pretty terrible damage. Now Creator.Prime up by 100 supply, and it looks like he's pushing Kas back onto his final this final stand here.
I think so.
GG!
Wow. Big smiles from Kas.
Wow!
That was a fun game to watch. I'm sure that was a pretty fun game to play, too. And Creator.Prime is 1 win away from all-killing Empire.Kas.
Impressive.